Today, we're going to be talking about classes in Python. Now, classes are one of the primary ways we developers organize our code. We'll not give you an exhaustive or exhausting description of classes, but only give you a high-level one. Now, classes help organize our code. We use classes in the same way as we once used functions and include files. In the earlier days of development, we relied on using functions and organizing our code into libraries. Now, however, we can have a very hierarchical organization in a single file using classes. Think of a class as a type of something. For example, you could have a class of developers. Each developer would have certain things about them that each one of them would have, and they would be different values. For example, each developer would have their primary programming language. Each developer would have a certain pay range that they would receive. So there would be a developer class that set the particulars of individual instances of different developers. This is how we use class in a programming language like Python. Class has two main types of things it contains: attributes and methods. An attribute is very similar to a field in a record. Methods are very similar to functions. This is a very simple example of a class in Python. It has a constructor. This constructor is called a dunder init. Every class in Python has a dunder init, and it is executed every time when the class is used to create an object. It's only executed when an object is created. This particular dunder init requires two arguments passed to it. It requires name and prog level. Notice the use of self in the dunder init. This indicates that it's referring to an attribute in the current object. And of course, the dunder init is right here. You see where it says self, name, prog level. Also notice that we have an example of a method inside of our class. This particular method compares this instance of a developer with an instance that is passed to the method outside of the class. Look at our executable section. We have two developer objects that we have created. Next, we execute the compare method of the first object and pass the second object as an argument. This is what it looks like when the script executes.